How are you? I don't know nothing about the race, and maybe we don't do an actual recap. Like, you can tell us how it went. This isn't a recap episode, but I
Oh
did
my
go into
God.
our stories and I've asked for a few questions, so maybe we just go with
Okay.
those. But give us a quick rundown of the 50K. Where was it, by the way? You did
All right.
nothing. You didn't send me any video, no pictures. Thanks
That,
for adding us to your collab on your story post, but I'm like,
that's that should just tell you how it went. It
all
is
right, let's go. Spare no details.
because honestly, I had just finished the race and I sat down and I was gonna go into the group chat that we have with Tara and Lindsay and I was gonna be like, "Yo, that fucking sucked." Like, there's no way to sugarcoat that. Probably the hardest race I've ever done, and that's including my 100. So, this race was in, Leyden, Mass, Leyden. So it's Western Mass on the, like, Vermont border. Just a 50K. I say just a 50K. Still pretty significant, but this race had about 4,300 feet of elevation, and you know me, Captain Rail Trail here, who does no elevation whatsoever.
Yeah, we got to
I
work on
was
that.
I was
I'm working on it,
completely
guys. I'm going to get her
well,
climbing.
you're working on it. You would have had a hard time with this race too. It was just nonstop, but it was dirt roads, some trail, and like the tiniest little smidge of pavement. And it kicked my ass. It completely kicked my ass. There was like no relief. It was either you're going straight up or you're going straight down. There was no in between. So I struggled and yeah. But I got it done. What can I say?
Let's pull up the Strava stats here. Okay.
Mhm.
4,226 feet in climbing. Not
Mhm.
bad, but you did it in 31 miles. In a couple of weeks, I'm doing that in 7.6 miles. Yeah, it looks like it actually went in parts of Vermont too,
Yeah.
or is that New
Yeah, it went
Hampshire?
Mass, Vermont, like kind of zigzagged in between the two.
All right. So here, I'm going to share the screen for those of you who are going to watch this on YouTube. All
Cool.
right. So you went out way too fast. Your first mile was a 9:01.
That's
What
cuz
were
I
you
felt
thinking?
good and it was downhill. I'm telling you, all of those fast splits were downhills and I couldn't go slower. Like my body just went. So that's just how things went.
Let me tell you, you're still a legit rock star. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for putting Stooley on some posts, by the way. That's awesome. I
My
lost it on
pleasure.
Strava. I lost it. Where am I going? Oh my God. Anna Greenberg, how you doing? Yes, here we go. All right. But you got to meet.
Oh, Stephanie Swan, you were the best part of my day. Stephanie lives very close to where the race took place, and we had been chatting. Well, we've been chatting for a while now, but she found out through probably the podcast how I was running this race, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's my like neck of the woods," and she offered to come say hi to me before the race. And to be completely honest, she was the best part. The race itself sucked, but seeing Stephanie was so nice. She's the sweetest human. Like look at that smile. Like she's just so wonderful. So she
She
kept me
came out to see you. That's
preoccupied.
so cool.
She
You are
did,
a rock
yeah.
star. You're a rock star. They're like, you have people coming out to see you at
Oh
races.
my gosh, I was so happy she did. But she kind of calmed my nerves a little bit because I was not really entirely looking forward to this race. I mean I knew what I was in for, and she was just kind of like, I don't know, took the edge off. So, Steph, you are wonderful. Thank you for my wonderful flamingo tattoo, which I'm so sad it's finally rubbing off. You can't really see it anymore. It's been through a few showers and it's not sticking around, but that flamingo tattoo, she put it on so I could channel the Beck's beasts as I was miserable throughout this race, and it did give me some power because I would just look down and be like, I got this whole squad behind me, and this is gonna help. So
Well, it's pretty
mhm.
badass. You got some cool accomplishments there. You're like ninth in some different segments, like ninth, top 10.
I don't know how that's the case because Yuki's done this race. I think she did it last year or the year before, and she did it like 2 hours faster than me.
Well, she's probably like top 3 in those segments then.
She's ridiculous.
I won't
Yuki, you're
dive
amazing.
into it, but I am going to dive into
Uh-huh.
some questions. We'll get into this first before we get to our amazing
Sure.
guest we have. We have Blake today, guys. Blake's awesome. You're gonna love it. I had a lot of fun editing it because I missed parts of it. Remember that
Oh
night
yeah,
was like
you had to was that when your kids were or
we
what happened?
we
I don't
kept
even remember.
postponing that a couple days, or even months or weeks because of Larry David, and we did it on a Wednesday at like 9 p.m.
Oh, your
and
kids
my
were still
kids
up, right?
wouldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
It was awful. And I can hear them right now banging on the door. All
Oh,
right.
geez.
So we're going to go. We got quite a few
This is
questions
an
here.
Ask Me Anything segment, I
It
guess.
pretty
Right?
much is. So the first one is Allie G. Allie G
Allie,
wants to know, how do you stay so focused?
Bumping beats in my ears, Beck's Beast on my arm, and friends like you cheering me on from afar.
All right. Very cool. Allie G was the first one. I'm just going in order here. A player to be named later. We know who that is. Lori.
Yes, we do.
Love you, Lori. She says, what you want to see more at ADU? Checo's calves or Capellini's beard? That's a great question. That's an awesome question. Can you give some context that has nothing to do with your 50K? It's the first time I read that question.
Wow, how do I choose? Well, her husband Paul is incredibly ripped and has some crazy looking calves, and Chris Capellini, who is like the reigning champion of ADU every year, has one like a super long, crazy beard. So don't make me choose, Lori. I mean, you guys are all awesome. I don't know. I'd have to see. I'm gonna go with Panda's hat though. Instead, I'm just gonna swing it and say Panda's hat.
During the middle of this, breaking news: Yuki just sent me a DM.
Did she? She
have
can't be
to
listening. How is this?
I have to share this photo. She just shared me a photo
Uh-huh.
of the man, her husband, Eric, who spells his name right, and he's a huge Boston Bruins fan, just like me. Sad right now. The Bruins lost.
So sorry.
Eric ran a race once, dressed up.
Okay, so now that this has been shared, Yuki said that she might do a Stooley costume for what race? Gotham Gallop. And I said Eric will lose. I go Eric K will lose it if you do that, and she goes, I'm working on it. So I think she has a good base to start from with.
She goes, I totally forgot Eric already did a Stooley. It's amazing.
I am obsessed. Oh my god.
I'm gonna legit just say, ha ha ha. We're recording right now and talking about this. LOL. Oh, everyone on YouTube just saw that too.
Oh, that's okay. That's great.
All right, back to the 50K. Thank you, Yuki. That was awesome. All right.
And that hard question by Lori. Really,
yes.
how do you choose?
I think Lori understood the assignment. Like, that was awesome. All right. Our good friend Josh Vernon wants to know, how often do you try new nutritional options during your training?
Seems to be very often now because after Flying Pig, that was a training run for me, and I ate whatever the hell I could get on course. But I usually do stick to the same kind of things. Like I'll have the same base. I always do the Scratch Labs super high carb drink mix because I can't handle the texture of gels. So that is just like a little bit better.
Yeah.
Drink mix, whatever, high carb. And then I do I have 2 flasks. So one is a super high carb. The other is just like hydration mix. And then I do power shots, like the little gummies, but they have like gel in the middle, but it's like kind of tastes like a Haribo Happy Cola gummy.
But how often are you like, oh, I want to try something new when you're training? Like, do you ever come across something like, I'm going to try it?
All the time. Like aid station food this past weekend, I was like, potato chips. Don't mind if I do. What did I I don't even know what else I had. Oh, they had Girl Scout cookies too. I had one of those no, they had like the chocolate caramel ones. Like those are so good. So I absolutely ate one of those. I didn't eat the totally weird stuff like I did at Flying Pig, but as long as I do it in moderation, it doesn't tend to bother my stomach.
All right, next question. So Josh, he has his podcast. Go check it out. It's called Another Triathlon Podcast.
Mhm.
That was a very interview style question, right? I think
It hits, though.
Lindsay hit it out of the park
Oh,
here.
boy.
Lindsay wants to know if you could only eat one food during an ultra, what would it be? So only one food.
Like one food to get me
One.
through the whole thing?
Yes, one food. You don't get to switch it up.
Oh my God, this is the hardest question ever. I'm thinking back to my 100 last year. The saving grace was a slider with extra salt and mustard.
Mm.
And that was like the food that helped me through this damn race. Like I had tiny burgers in my pockets. Like I was like, can I take these on the road?
You know what I think
took
I
them
would
with
do?
me. What?
I think I would do pizza.
See, I always say that, but for some reason, the pizza sauce always gives me heartburn, and I have a bad time after that. So pizza's like an after food.
Yeah, I think I would do pizza because it tastes great cold. I can throw so many toppings on it. I could take them off if I didn't want the pepperoni or whatever. I've been making so much pizza on the griddle this summer
now
already.
That you have the vegan cheese too.
Yes. Oh, dude, I put so much cheese on my pizza yesterday.
Welcome,
Aaron
to my
and Mike,
world.
Tom and Diana from Will Run For, like we talked about this no cheese pizza, and they're like, "How, guys? I have found vegan cheese.
His
and
life
it is
has
amazing.
been changed.
I've learned though, like, and I'm trying, like, it needs some little more time to melt because it's harder. So I need to like give it a little more time. And one time I burnt a little bit of the bottom of the pizza more than I wanted to. So I'm like playing around with that. It's all an experiment. And that's what the best
It's a
part
learning
about this
curve,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving this. So I had a cheeseburger the other day. I'm going to be 39 in July, and I just had my first cheeseburger.
My friend. This is my life. I will, if I have anything, like if I'm just feeling peckish and I want a snack, it's cheese. Like I'll find a cheese stick, or like I will eat from a bag of cheese. Like I have no shame.
All right, next question. Another person who understood the assignment. I love you girls. You're amazing. And my daughter says to me the other day, we went on an adventure hike or something. She went running with me, and then we went on like
that.
So
you had the good stories over the weekend. There you go.
It was so cool. We'll get to that in the outro, but she asked me like something about birds because we're in a bald eagle park or whatever. And she goes, are they extinct, or what birds are extinct? And I go, pterodactyl is extinct. And our next question is from Pterodactyl. She wants to know about your toes. And are your toes ready for only feet yet?
I almost sent you guys another picture, but I thought it was going to gross you out. I was going to send you a picture and say, hey guys, I have a new friend. What should I name him? I had a giant blood blister on my pinky toe of my right foot. It was real gross. And almost sent it to you, but I was going to have to be like, disclaimer, do not put this on the internet. But yeah, I got a monster blister. So, I mean, Tara, what's your definition of ready for only feet? The grosser, the better, then yes, I am ready. But if you want pedicure style feet, that ain't me.
Okay. Our good friend who looked amazing this past weekend at a wedding with her beautiful purple hair. It looked fantastic, Jess.
Jess. Oh,
Runner Jess wants to know, will you run a 50K with her one day? You get to pick the race. What race are you going to choose?
100% yes, I will absolutely run a race with you, Jess.
50K
I gotta
race.
Oh yeah, I'll run a 50K. Yeah. I want her to scope out that well, this is way more than a 50K, but maybe like, does she have any good loopy races over her way? Or maybe she can come do Loopy Looper someday.
I got a message from Aaron from Will Run For today asking if you will go and do a Loopy Looper relay team with them.
Oh, really?
And we were supposed to go running today, and you bailed out of that because you're soft. You're softer than Charmin, as
I'm trying to take
before.
care of my legs so I can keep running and make my feet grosser.
She wants to know. She wanted to know if we could both go and be part of a relay team. I said I am out, but I can talk Erika into it. It's a relay team, and she says it's party pace.
I might be able to, but I promised Danielle, she's got her charities, Chad. Well, it's not Chad anymore, but the charity baseball game, like the cops versus firefighters that day.
Wait, she's retired. She doesn't play anymore.
She's not retired anymore. She did 10
years. Came out of retirement.
She came out of retirement.
Oh, okay.
We've
gone to like 10 of those.
I
probably-
haven't because I always have a race.
Oh.
So I've missed the past.
Well,
like,
guess what,
3 or 4
Erica? You have a
years.
race again this year. I'll go to the game with the kids, and you know, you'll be there in spirit, and you can go to Loopy Looper, and I'll be there in spirit.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because I can't do Loop-de-Looper if I'm gonna really try to pull off ADU, which is already a tough battle right now. So let's
Yep.
not get into that.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do. We'll run for. I will try.
All right. Kristen Fitness Unleashed wants to know, what was your fueling? What
Well,
did you eat? What did you fuel on during the race?
What I answered during Josh's question was what I had on me, and I had those gummies, and literally I just kind of pecked here and there at the aid station. Like I had some chips, but I did have soda. I do love to have a little bit of soda during the race. It's like a nice pick me up. I had some Sprite and some Coke, regular Coke, for a little caffeine to keep me going. And yeah, so I mean, whatever they offer is what I'll pick at. I mean, I think I had regular gummy bears. My stomach is pretty good about it. What else did I have? I think there was something weird at one of the aid stations that I wanted to eat, but I passed up. Might have been like a Nutri-Grain bar, but I don't know. The Scratch Labs is like my go-to though. That's the one thing that I make sure that I always have, and it will get me through most of the race at the very least. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Final question.
Man, you guys turned out for this. This is great.
They did, and I just posted this like an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
So they really did. Okay.
Fantastic.
Our guest for next week, Garrett the runner, wants to know, on your running calendar, have you put the Strolling Jim on your running calendar yet?
Not this year. Oh, but
well,
yeah,
this year just happened.
I haven't even thought about next year yet, but I gotta write it down because it's gonna be mid-May, right?
May 3rd. May 3rd.
And it's a 40 miler, or is it a 50?
40 something. Remember, he said he'll do it with you if you do it.
That's true.
You'll hear about that next week, or if you heard their podcast last week, we were on the Trail Trash podcast. I forget if we talked about Strolling Jim on theirs or on ours. Probably both. But it was a lot of fun.
Too. It's weird when you do dueling podcasts at the same time. But Garrett, I'm working on it. I will try my best because that sounds fun. It doesn't sound as terrible as you guys were making it out to seem. So.
Well, cool. Not as big as your 100-milers, but you're kind of in some rough shape, you said. So how are you feeling with Washington coming up?
I think I
Washington
will be
for the Yeti, not Mount Washington.
Yep. I think I will be fine for Washington. This one just had such an incredible change in elevation. Washington's not going to be anywhere near that, so I can get a lot more of my flat running in and comfortable walking. So
some good training. This was good training for it.
I do agree. It was good training, and I think that I can go farther and not blow up. And I think I'm going to be in good shape.
Awesome.
Plus, I have another trail race, and so Karen Clark is running this one too. And one of the friends that we met in Hamster Wheel last year, he was running the course, and he goes, "Oh, you guys are gonna be in for it." That's called the Drummer Hill Trail Races. They're loops of 12.5K, and you can do up to 4 laps for a 50K, which I'm signed up for the 50K. And it's going to be around the same elevation, but technical trail. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? What did I sign up for? So 2 weeks, get to try it again.
Right. You're a superwoman. You'll be fine.
Whew. Leslie's going to be there though. I'll have some friends. I'll have friends. This is going to be more fun, I think.